Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Arsenal Show. Let's play the intro and we'll get right into it. Yes, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Arsenal Show. I've been away for quite a few weeks, haven't kept up with the games as much on my own channel as I have been appearing everywhere else. But I thought it's a little window of opportunity, little small smidgen of time before kickoff. So I thought, why not jump on and then just get jumped in and get right on with it? And we got Hente there. Good evening, Hente. Good to see you, my friend. And much obliged and appreciated for your kind words earlier with your tweet in terms of your top podcasts that you've listened to for the year. It's very, very kind of you, as always. And yeah, I appreciate being up there with such good company. There's a lot of big names that you had on there. So yeah, very, very grateful to get a mention alongside such bigger and more established channels. If we could ever get to that level, that'd be that's a goal that we're trying to achieve here. And yeah, hopefully, if things carry on the way they're going, we can maybe get there one day. But yeah, moving on and catching up with what we missed. Arsenal, plenty of games, varied performances, varied results, and the first one, the big one. Arsenal played Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League, and Arsenal went into this game full of beans right off the back of that North London derby win. And we had a change side here. Mosquera got the nod over Hincapié. Lewis Skelly got the start over Calafiori, and Arsenal started this game really, really well. We had Bayern Munich on the ropes quite early. Especially from set piece situations, which continued throughout the game. They couldn't handle the set pieces at all. And we had a good spell in open play with Moreno chipping in Trossard, but he was just offside for a chance that he had early. And then Arsenal opened the scoring, and it was a set piece again. Bukayo Saka, lovely delivery from him, and it was headed in by Jurrien Timber. And I've said it before, but I'll wax lyrical about Jurrien Timber again. His heading ability and his aerial prowess for his height and his stature is superb. And the leap and the way that he guided this header in was absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that was the first goal. And then Arsenal again, we were carving up Bayern Munich, and Eze found Marino, who was dropping into a deeper position, and they exchanged a 1-2 into Eze's path, and he tried to square it across to Saka. But he was probably better off taking this into his own stride and shooting, But the move and the football from Arsenal at this point was absolutely gorgeous to see. Bayern Munich then equalised through Carl, and you just got to hold your hands up sometimes in football. And it was a fantastic, fantastic goal from him. Kimmich had the ball deep, and he floats it over to Serge Gnabry. Lewis Skelly, could he have been tighter, and could have Mosquera read the pass into the middle to Carl better? Maybe, but like I said, sometimes you just got to put your hands up and go, look, this is a class goal and 3 class bits of skill. And when you see it, the first time pass and then the shot by Carl is absolutely sublime. Unfortunately, there was a moment here in the game, sadly, where Leandro Trossard had to come off, and it was not long after this goal, and it was gutting, as he's been absolutely magnificent for Arsenal this season. And Madueke got to come on for Leandro Trossard, and we'll talk about him in a sec. But yeah, Arsenal started that second half brightly, continued the set piece and the aerial bombardment with Marino, especially. He had quite a few chances out here against Bayern, and Bayern's only real chance again come from Carl, and Lewis Skelly. he got absolutely run ragged by him all game, and it was a real concern for me, Lewis Skelly's performance in this match against Bayern Munich. But yeah, Marino and Mosquera again had good chances from set pieces, and then Declan Rice had a brilliant chance that he created himself with a lung bursting run. Neuer had to make a top save with his feet, and then Calafiori eventually come on for Lewis Skelly, and he had an immediate impact. He just made a tremendous run and then just thread this cross along the box first time into Madueke, who slotted home his first Arsenal goal. And it was an amazing moment for him. He celebrated it very passionately and emotionally, and clearly it means a lot to him. I mean, he's just come back from injury, but to finally come back from injury and then contribute to your side also really, really nice. And the move was brilliant with Declan Rice reading and intercepting, and then playing it into Eberechi Eze, and who then found Calafiori, and Madueke then followed it up. It was a really well worked, tremendous Arsenal goal. Arsenal, we then get a third goal through Gabriel Martinelli, and again, superb move. Declan Rice and Martinelli closing the Bayern Munich man down. Martinelli popped it off to Marino, who then popped it into Eze, and Eze hit the same ball that he basically pinged Martinelli with against Manchester City. And Martinelli takes it in his stride. Neuer comes out, rushing, and he tucks it home. And it's an amazing result and an amazing performance for the Arsenal to seal the tie against Bayern Munich. And man of the match for this game, I'm picking Declan Rice. He was colossal. He was colossal here against Bayern Munich. 11.6k covered. He was making clearances. He was blocking shots. He was recovering the ball. And he could have had some assists from these set pieces as well. It was a brilliant, brilliant game from him. And I've got to give some flowers out to Jurriën Timber for his goal. And a very, very solid performance from Mosquera as well. I thought he absolutely handled Harry Kane in this game perfectly. And Marino as well had a really unselfish performance, but he was so dominant aerially from the set pieces. And then the subs, Madueke, Calafiori, Martinelli, all had an impact when they come on, and it was nice to see Ben White and Martin Odegaard get a run out as well. Straight after that one, had to go up against Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, and we had to flip the lineup again for the Chelsea game. Saliba picked up a knock in training. Obviously, Trossard was out, so Hincapié come in at the left centre-back, and Mosquera kept his place, moving to the right of the centre-backs this time, and then Martinelli come in for Trossard, who obviously was injured. And Saka had our first real chance about 12 minutes in after a Declan Rice long throw, and Eze playing him in, and Sanchez saved it quite well. Shouts he could have been offside, but I don't think Saka was offside here. And then Esteval had a huge chance for Chelsea, and Arsenal was a bit shaken defensively, and the cross come in, and Mosquera didn't clear his lines well at all here. And it fell back into Esteval's path, but luckily he ballooned it into the stands. Big moment of the game then occurs. Caicedo, which, being brutally honest with you all here and my audio listeners as well, Caicedo from the off of this game, from the very, very beginning, absolute prat. He was just overly aggressive, and it cost him, and it cost Chelsea here as he was sent off for this stamp on Marino. Absolutely insane challenge, and the fact that in real time that he got given a booking first from Anthony Taylor, he was close enough to see how dangerous this was. It just shows the level of incompetence in reffing at this level. This league eventually, has to do something about this. This sheer incompetence of the reffing, and luckily, common sense eventually prevailed, and he was hooked off. And I couldn't believe it as well, where he was like feigning the injury just to try and delay the inevitable. It's a real coward move from Caicedo, and the way Chelsea fans will talk to you about Caicedo is that like he's the hardest man, he's the strongest man. He's unbreakable. You can't like beat him in a duel. You can't do this to. He was an absolute coward, just rolling on the floor, trying to think, oh, if I don't get up, he's going to not give me the red. And yeah, it was just absolutely stupid. But Chelsea, they've been reduced to 10 men 6 times this season, so it was no shock that they didn't really drop any level. And with a man less, Arsenal, we still struggled to get into any kind of rhythm. And we had a good chance near the end of the half. Martinelli, after excellent play from Declan Rice, but the shot was really, really weak at Robert Sanchez. It wasn't a good shot at all. Start of the second half, and Miles Lewis-Skelly come on for Calafiori, and his introduction wasn't great. He conceded a foul and then got booked from it. And we took Calafiori off because he was on a booking, and then within moments, Lewis-Skelly just got booked himself. But yeah, Chelsea, they got a free kick and they pumped the ball into the box, and it was João Pedro with the header, which David Raya, he come a really, really long way to claim, and he does make a good save from it, but it just seemed a bit unnecessary. And then we gave away an unnecessary corner, and Chelsea then scored it through Shalabar, and it was a really good set piece goal. Arsenal have been very good at set pieces for the last couple of seasons, and you just got to hold your hand. Like I said earlier, you just got to hold your hands up and admit when someone does something good back to you. And yeah, that was a really well worked set piece and goal. And Arsenal then made it 1-1 through Mikel Merino, who he's so good, like I mentioned, in the air and in these aerial battles and everything. And it was a brilliant cross from Bukayo Saka. It was the only time in the game from Saka where he wasn't wasteful. He took Cucurella, who again, Cucurella's another player. He's been brilliant this season. Chelsea fans will tell you he's the best left back in the league, best left back in the world, and ever. But he was another one, just a complete tool on the day. He's just I don't know what it is. Whenever he plays against Arsenal and Saka, he's just a complete idiot. And he was on a booking, and Saka, this was the only time Saka was like, do you know what, I'm going to beat you and I'm going to rinse you. And if he did that more often, we probably would have got more joy. But yeah, really happy for Merino to get the goal, and he's become really clutch in front of goal for us with Gyökeres out. And Merino produced a save from Sanchez again, and Gyökeres tried to follow up the shot, but he wasn't successful, sadly, and they tried to claim a foul and everything here. Gyökeres got booked for it, but a striker's always going to go for that ball. It just seemed a bit silly for me. But yeah, right near the end as well, Arsenal should have got a winner. Hincapié did some great work on the outside, and he put a cross in, and Timber goes for the header, but he doesn't know or doesn't hear a shout from Gyökeres behind him to score, and the game ends 1-1. And it was a very frustrating, tough battle against Chelsea, but very grateful to come out relatively unscathed and with a point. And it was a horrible game to watch at times, with all the stop-start and all the cards and everything. But yeah, for this one, again, I'm going to put the graphic up now, even though I didn't put it up for the last game. But yeah, Declan Rice, again, man of the match here for me. He sacrificed so much of his game further up on the day to drop back and make like a back three with Mosquera and Hincapié at times. And he really did help there. And he helped Zubamendi as well at times, being like a double pivot. Zubamendi for me here got absolutely bullied and bossed out of the game here. It wasn't a good performance from him at all. But yeah, Declan still got 93% on his passing. He had the chance he made for Martinelli as well, and he made 4 clearances, 4 recoveries, 1 interception on the day, and blocked a shot. And he's just an absolute general for Arsenal here. Honourable mentions of Flowers. Calafiori, I thought was brilliant, especially in that first half. Even on a booking, I would have kept him on personally. I know that they made the change for Lewis-Skelly, but yeah, I would have kept Calafiori on. He was having a bit of joy out there and looking a bit dangerous on the attack and like the inversions and the overlaps and what have you. And then as well, got to give a mention to Merino, obviously getting the goal and, like I said, being really, really, really clutch for us. But yeah, the rest of them, they had an off day for me, especially the subs, Lewis-Skelly and then Noni Madueke as well. The application from Madueke to the level of the game and the job at hand was so below the expectation that is needed. I really did feel sorry for Mikel Arteta when bringing them on, because he brings the subs on against Bayern Munich and then they change the game, and he brings the subs on against Chelsea and they just completely they just look lost. They just didn't do anything. But yeah, I did feel sorry for him there. Moving on, better result now, Brentford, and we tweaked the lineup completely. Ben White Odegaard and Madueke come in for Jurriën Timber, Saka and Eze. Was more rotation than I actually expected from Arsenal, and I was quite happy that the rotation took place. But yeah, Arsenal started this really well, especially down that right hand side. Ben White and Madueke, they look bright and energetic here, and it wasn't long, only 11 minutes to be precise. Before we got the opener, Madueke, he played a cute back heel into Ben White's path, who ran and crossed over a perfect ball for Mikel Merino again to head home another goal. And like I said, this man's aerial ability and goal scoring prowess is becoming a major asset to the Arsenal team. He's borderline at times becoming a dead cert to score when you put the ball in the air now, and that's so valuable when you've got a talent like that. But yeah, Madueke, he had a good chance to make it too with some quick footwork, but it produced a save. Brentford then had a good chance, and probably their only real chance of the game, from a set piece from Sade and the header. And David Raya made like a huge paw, like clawing action save to get the ball away from the goal. It was brilliant from him. Madueke, he had another chance after great play from Rice, and then we move on to the second half, and Arsenal had a chance from Calafiori, who produced a save from Kelleher, and Merino was following it up, and he then made a silly dive here. He's been great, but yeah, I don't want to see this from him. It was a terrible dive, and I love him, but yeah, I don't want to see that again, because he'll get a booking and he'll get a reputation that he doesn't need or he doesn't deserve. And then Declan Rice had a shot again, which was saved, and Merino followed it up and missed, as he just couldn't react quickly enough. And Calafiori, he had another great run, and he hits a shot which is saved, and the rebound then fell to Saka, who just couldn't react quickly. And Saka eventually, he made it 2-0 after excellent work in the middle of the park by Merino, and Saka was very lucky this bobbled in, because Gyökeres was right there for a tap in, but he didn't even consider his teammate here, Saka. He just got it and shot, and Arsenal get the 2-0 win in the end. And it was a bit tough in places, but you know, it just rounded off a fantastic week for Arsenal, and a great win versus Bayern Munich. And then you got the two tricky games here, like I said, with Chelsea, and this one was a bit tricky in places, but you're not really looking at the performances per se. You're looking at the results, and yeah, we didn't lose any there, so that was a good one there for Arsenal again. And man of the match for this one, I actually gave it for Calafiori. I thought it was an offensive and defensive masterclass from the Italian. When the attacking players at times had no impact, he created things mostly off his own accord. And yeah, he could have easily have got 2 goals. Like I mentioned, he made 1 interception, 3 clearances, and 4 recoveries on the night also. So yeah, I think as a defensive player, which I've critiqued him for quite a lot last season, he's becoming a real asset, not just in an offensive standpoint, but I think his defensive play has gotten a lot better. I know we will we'll touch upon his defensive play maybe in the next game, but here against Brentford, yeah, he showed that he definitely has made progress there. Also, going to give some flowers to Ben White, David Raya, and Mikel Merino as well, but others did really fall flat. And again, we lose Mosquera to an injury in this game, and it's been confirmed he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. And Declan Rice obviously went down as well, but it was just cramp and everything. So yeah, it was fine. But again, here with the Brentford game, the subs from Mikel Arteta, other than Jurriën Timber, not the impact, not a good impact at all. Eze and Saka, who did score, just again the application when they come on, it just wasn't there. I mean, Gyökeres as well, he didn't really get long enough. But yeah, some of the ways that these players are coming out of the cold and then coming into the team, they're really not producing the levels that you're expecting, and that's starting to become an issue here with the players that are coming off the bench. And I know a lot of people like to throw stuff at Mikel Arteta, but for me, once a player crosses that white line, he can't really have any more, control over that. And they need to handle what they're doing themselves way better than what they've been, because some of it's been really, really below par. But yeah, Aston Villa, again, changed 11. Ben White retains his place at right back, and Jurriën Timber stuck at centre back with Mosquera injured, and then Saka was recalled for Madueke, and then Eze for the first time in 6 weeks being moved onto that left hand side for Martinelli, and Odegaard got to keep his place in the number 8 role. And Arsenal, we had a really early chance from Martin Odegaard, who shot right into the hands of Emi Martinez, which was quite the routine occurrence in this game, not just from himself, but from others. They just, made shots straight at Emi Martinez, which was quite annoying on the day. And Villa, then they had a chance through Ollie Watkins. It was poor defending from Arsenal. It's a long goal kick from Emi Martinez, and Zubamendi meets the initial header, and then the ball's headed back over, and Calafiori hit the deck for like a challenge with John McGinn, and he's trying to claim a foul that she's never going to get, and he's just laying on the floor there. And I thought, he needs to get up there, he needs to help his team, but yeah, he still was laying on the ground trying to claim a challenge that really wasn't one at all. And then Timber and Hincapié, they're too high. Their line is way too high, and both missed the tackles. And David Raya has to produce a save, and then Zubamendi here, he was brilliant, because when that rebound comes out, he just hoofed it straight away. Another player there might have took a touch and then tried to dribble out or did a pass, but Zubamendi just cleared his line, which is what you really wanted to do towards the end of the game. But yeah, we'll get onto that when we do. Saka, he then had 2 chances where he hits a shot, but again, just right down Emi Martinez's throat. And then we get on the rebound. Martin Odegaard plays across into Saka here, and he's got a real good chance with a header, but it's just completely off target. And Saka has to do better here. I've watched this back a couple of times now, and each time I watch it, it's like a real sitter for me. The fact that he doesn't even get this on target or test Martinez, he just completely heads it wide. It's not good at all. Arsenal, we then had the ball in the net through Eze, but Saka is offside in the build-up, and this one, Martin Odegaard just released the ball quicker. He takes so long to play Saka in that by the time Saka has made that run, they've put him. They've played the offside trap. They've done him. If he put that in a couple of seconds quicker, that goal stands. But yeah. Aston Villa, they go 1-0 up through Matty Cash, and it's basically a repeat of a previous warning that we've had a few minutes before from Cash, which was blocked by Declan Rice. And there's a massive collection of errors here from this goal, from Arsenal. And Pau Torres, who is the one that plays the ball in before Matty Cash obviously scores it. No pressure on him. No pressure whatsoever. He's got time all day to whip this in. It's ridiculous, the lack of commitment to the press or to the duel to get the ball back. And Hincapié as well. He's having a duel here with Ollie Watkins, and instead of going in front of Ollie Watkins and blocking him and then potentially winning the chance to head the ball, he goes around Watkins. He goes outside of him. And then that leaves him unable to obviously contest the cross. And then Eze, who's filling in as a left back, he's not aware. He's just not aware that Matty Cash is coming onto the cross, and the ball eventually goes through David Raya's legs as well, which absolutely just compounds the misery of the goal here. Arsenal, right after, we have a really good chance to equal the game through Ben White. Brilliant work from Saka here. Which again he didn't do enough of in the game. This is something I keep coming back to. Saka will take someone on, play a ball, but he'll do this like once. It's not constant enough. He's got the ability to absolutely rinse any left back in the world that he wants to, but he's just not showing enough of it at the moment for me. But yeah, Ben White, when he gets the ball played into him, it's a really tame effort at Martinez. And we had Darren Fletcher and obviously Keown commenting on the game here, and I know a lot of people are going to say about Keown with the man of the match for Martin Odegaard and everything. But yeah, this Darren Fletcher, I've heard he's a Liverpool fan. I haven't got that confirmed, but he kept saying about Martinez and his saves. If Martinez couldn't save these, he's a World Cup winning goalkeeper. I think he won the FIFA Best Goalkeeper Award as well the same year that they won the World Cup. If he can't save shots that are straight at him, then Aston Villa have got a real big problem on their hands because yeah, it would have been an embarrassment if he didn't save any of these. But yeah, second half. Straight away, Arsenal make two changes. Gyökeres and Trossard coming on for Eze and Marino, respectfully, and both had a really poor first half. I mean, Eze, the readjustment after 6 weeks of playing as a right eight to then become a winger again. He just couldn't adjust to it. And you know what else as well? I don't think Calafiori helped him on the day. I think what Calafiori was trying to do interfered with what Eberechi Eze was doing. And I've got a graphic here. Apologies for the audio listeners, but yeah, I've got Eze's heat map here on the screen, and if you can see here, majority of the touches are like he's playing as a left winger / left back. There's only a few where he's moved into a central space where he's most dangerous. And then obviously there's the one in the box where he scored the goal, which is offside. But yeah, Eze made 13 touches of the ball, 9 passes. Only 7 of them passes were accurate, and the majority of them were backwards. They weren't forward or line breaking passes. And then he had no shots at all, because obviously the shot that he did have that resulted in the goal doesn't count because he was offside. But yeah, if you're going to play Eze with Calafiori, then I don't know if Eze has to back himself more with Calafiori to say, do not go into that space as much as you do. Go round me and let me go into that space. You know, Eze, you want him on the edge of the box taking the shots like he did against Tottenham, or you want him in the box playing 1-2s or getting shots away. You don't want him retaining width and playing as a byline sort of player and winger. That's not, you know, you're wasting arguably £68 million worth of talent there, having him play like that. And I know that when all the players were fit, that's probably the position that we've bought Eze for and the position he's going to play in. But yeah, there definitely needs to be more of a readjustment, not just from himself, but from the players that are also in the team to help bring the best out of him. But yeah, Marino as well. He just couldn't get a grip. It was a really strong and robust Aston Villa backline, and they just absolutely dominated him. He just couldn't get going at all. But Trossard straight away nearly had an immediate impact. Martin Odegaard put a beautiful ball inside, and Trossard just hit a volley that went wide. And then Arsenal, we make it 1-1. Great move started by Declan Rice winning it back in the midfield, and Odegaard and Saka producing a little bit of magic together, which we need to see more often. And it was another clutch goal from Leandro Trossard. Sadly, he's been injured again. Hopefully that's not a long one. I'll be devastated, because for me at the moment, Leandro Trossard, he's our most productive forward, and he's the most clinical, and he's the best finisher. You know, until the other players start finding their finishing boots, it's a real problem. It's a real problem up there. The others really need to start producing if he's going to be, you know, if he's injured again for a sustained period of time, we really need others to step up. But yeah, Watkins, he then produced another great save from David Raya, and then Odegaard, he hit a shot from long range that stung Emi Martinez's palms, and we had another chance from Bukayo Saka, this time from a set piece, and he's got a row of players in front of him, Bukayo Saka, but he tried to place this one low, and it got blocked. I think it was Kamara that blocked it. Just complete wrong shot selection from Bukayo Saka. Just like so many others in this game, just the wrong decision in the final third. It just, yeah, it was just really, really frustrating. And then Donnell Marlon nearly lands a death blow after more poor defending. And after that, we created our last chance of the game. Declan Rice is making a run. He plays the ball into the box. Victor Gyökeres, nowhere near it. Nowhere near where he needs to be. He's just being manhandled by Konsa in the middle, having a, you know, ding dong and a duel with him when he should really be sprinting and busting a gut to get into that box and to finish it to get Arsenal the win. And then it falls to Madueke, and then Madueke just smashes it straight into the side net. And for me, Madueke there, he's too wide to try and get that. You know, for me, he hasn't got that array of shot. He hasn't got that play in him. So I don't know why he tried to think he was going to score from that cute angle. What he should have done is maybe take a touch and then play the ball back across the box or played a ball across the box first time back into Gyökeres's path, because Gyökeres eventually was there in the box at that point. But yeah, just really poor decision making, which happened all game from Arsenal forwards. And then the final nail in the coffin comes. Emi Buendia. It's just more poor defending from Arsenal, and it just compounded an awful day. You know, Hincapié there. This game ends 1-1, and I know it's a hypothetical, and it's it's the what if game and what have you. This game ended 1-1 with Hincapié's performance here. He could have easily been a shout for man of the match himself, but he just takes a poor touch, takes another poor touch. Ball goes out for a throw, isn't dealt with properly, and then it's just a scramble after scramble after scramble. Finds Buendia, and Buendia hits it into the roof of the net. And we've just got to try and chalk this off. You know, we can't lick our wounds. But again, too many poor performances from too many big names in this game. And we go again later on tonight, and hopefully we see a bit of change and a reaction from the Arsenal. But yeah, man of the match for that game against Aston Villa, I gave it to David Raya. It could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for David Raya on the day. He was absolutely superb for me. He kept the score relatively respectful. So yeah, big shouts to him, and the way he reacted after that last goal as well. I normally associate David Raya with calmness and collectiveness, but yeah, he lost it. He lost his mind. He was furious with him, and rightfully so. But yeah, he was absolutely seething. Moving on. So obviously, yeah, we got Brugge in about an hour and a half's time. Lineup's probably going to come out. Might even be out now, but it's going to come out in about maybe 20-25 minutes time where I'm recording this. So I'm going to put a predicted lineup that I've done. Obviously, some of you may have heard me on Purely Arsenal and on the Highbury squad give a lineup midweek, but he's not done what I expected. So I've gone for this one here. Now, just straight away for me, Yuri and Timber, Zubamendi, Saka, Rice, I wouldn't have let get a plane to Belgium. I know that some of these have all travelled. I think the majority of them have all travelled apart from Declan Rice. But yeah, I wouldn't have had them on the plane at all. But there we go. That's me. But yeah, tonight, I think he's going to go for David Raya in goal, Ben White, Timber, Hincapié and Lewis Skelly in the back. Christian Norgard, please let Christian Norgard kick a ball. He needs to get some minutes. He needs to show that he can be trusted, because Zubamendi has been overly relied upon, and he has been physically dominated, like I said, in the Chelsea game and in the Aston Villa game. Ethan Nwaneri, another one. Please, can we see Ethan Nwaneri kick a football? He's got to get some minutes under his belt, or he's going to look to be leaving. I think he's signed and committed a new contract, and he has not been given enough minutes, in my opinion. Mikel Merino, I think, is going to go back to playing in the 8 role, and he'll probably have the captain's armband on, because he's been given the armband, I think, twice this season already. And out of all these players that are here, I think he's the one that's going to be trusted with the armband. And then I've gone for Madueke, Martinelli, and Victor Gyökeres. Again, these three, play them into form. They need to be scoring some goals, getting some momentum behind them. So yeah, play all three of them, and hopefully they will convert some chances. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, as always, to everybody for tuning in, watching, and listening. Enjoy the game tonight. I will be back after the game tonight on the channel, and I will try my hardest to do one with other people. I know a lot of you are very grateful and kind with these solo shows, but I know my strengths. I work much better when I've got other people to bounce around off and everything. But yeah, hopefully, as always, you enjoyed this, and take care, enjoy the game, and I will speak to you later. All the best. Thanks, everybody.